Hello very much. My name is Hayden Anadonia, and today I'm going to be rating my favorite types of gay porn. So the first best type of gay porn that I personally enjoy is 2010s Tumblr original narrative gay porn, such as Starfighter by Hamlet Machine. I have all 5 chapters and I have played the video game. There was an era of artists on Tumblr that was very prolific, where a lot of them were creating webtoons and also physical print graphic novels of their original characters, telling very cool narratives, but it was also pornographic, which I always thought was very cool and so fun. It was kind of like American Tumblr yaoi, and I've been told that I pronounce yaoi wrong, but I don't care. It's so sick. The art style is just amazing, and all the artists they all have very unique art styles, which I always loved, because one thing about yaoi that I always found was it was a bit more, I feel like, commercialized. So a lot of the art styles are in like a traditional style, which I guess this is also in a traditional style, but there seems to be more variation between art styles because of the individual artists doing everything themselves. So you kind of get a bit more unique with the plot lines and the art styles and the way that they do the whole thing, which is really cool. I personally, that's my favorite. That I loved it in high school. I have probably 20 to 30 of these different types of books. Some of them are full series, some of them are doujinshis. Doujinshis? Is that how you say that? Again, I don't know. But I have a lot of the doujinshis. I have a lot of the full series. Some of them are just like general art books and whatnot, but they're really cool, and I love them. I do have an extensive collection of books that I bought. I spent whatever little money I accrued in high school on them. I just think they're really cool, and a lot of my art that I draw is inspired by that era of Tumblr OC artwork and these original stories and whatnot, because they're just so cool. So I love them. Some of my other favorite artists from that time were Miss Lucid, who did the AVLA comics, and then there's Hamlet Machine that did Starfighter. There was Arrow Zero that did Gods and Men Plus Monsters, I think was what it was called, Gods and Monsters. There was Loke, who had a series called In Passing, which was really cool. There was God in the Field. I don't remember the name of that artist exactly, but they also used to draw a lot of Sherlock fan fiction, which was I was never super into Sherlock, but the comics were cool. Yeah, it's just so many cool artists. Starfighter is a really good one. Starfighter and AVLA are probably my 2 favorites. There is a BL game for this that I played. I played it in high school, or when it came out, and I just played it again recently, and that was just as good as I remember. So yeah, super recommend. Second type of gay porn that I love is vintage gay porn, of course. I really love the narrative kind of experimental style of the 70s. Once you start getting into the 80s, it starts getting a bit more commercial, which is less intriguing to me. I feel like in the 70s, up through the late 70s and into the early 80s, there's a lot of... I feel like it was a bit more of a creative endeavor as opposed to just porn. Le Beau Mec, I just ripped the soundtrack for and put it on my Ashmedai SoundCloud. Really good, great music. The way that it was shot was more artistic and leagues beyond the porn that we have today, which is just so disappointing and lackluster. It was focused on building even even in lesser cases, it was more focused on building a personality, and it was fleshing out the character that you were watching. So, you know, I personally don't like porn unless there is some semblance of personality to the people that you're watching. Otherwise, you're just watching two people, two bodies having sex, which is like fine maybe for an erotic horror story, but it is more fun when you can kind of connect with the characters, even in that kind of parasocial, artistic way that are being portrayed on a screen. But yeah, I really loved that era of gay porn. I think it was just beautiful. It was so soft, and the colors were so vibrant. It was very, very cool. And of course, you know, I think that they touched on this in the movie X by T.I. West, but there is a huge crossover and sisterhood between pornography and horror in the 70s, because a lot of both of them were guerrilla style shooting, and it was very DIY because neither of those industries were really given the same level of admiration and respect as other genres and areas of film. So I think that it's really cool. There is a huge sisterhood between horror and porn, because people are freaky and nasty, and they want to watch bodies on screen, whether the bodies are getting penetrated or blown to bits. You know, we love to see the perversion of the human body on a screen. So that's why I love vintage gay porn. I have a lot of the Bijou classics on DVD as well, and sometimes whenever I have parties at my house, I just put them on my different little CRT TVs all over the house, and I just have gay porn playing at my house parties because I just get down like that. Third, I would say my favorite genre of gay porn is that kind of later 2010s, carrying on into today, Tumblr gay porn. There's a very robust community of kind of weird, eclectic gay porn. A lot of it is aimed at hyper-masculinity, you know, and guys that you usually would not see engaging in homoerotic acts, And these type of men do engage in homoerotic acts, but it's not traditionally associated with those men, unless maybe at the expense of a homophobic joke, but such as blue-collar workers and really masculine, beefy, but rugged, redneck, white trash type dudes. And they're always like wrestling in mud or whatever, but then it's pornographic. So I love that genre of gay porn. I think it's really fun and cool because, again, it does kind of subvert your expectations by showing guys that you typically would not associate with homoerotic behavior fucking, you know, deep dicking each other in a mud pit. That's fun. That's cool. I think that's really sexy. I love gay porn. I think it is really hot to watch two dudes touch each other because I love men, and the only thing better than one man is two men when they're touching and kissing each other. That's so fun. Yeah, so I love gay porn. Let me know what kind of gay porn you guys like in the comments. Honorable mentions, I would say, sure, yaoi is also cool. I think yaoi does have a huge influence on the Tumblr style of gay pornography and webcomics that I love, so we can't deny the influence. So honorable mention is yaoi. I do love a BL game. Dramatical Murder had me in a chokehold when I was in high school. I'm trying to think if there's any other niche types of gay porn that I really enjoy. Not really. That's kind of the circles that I frequent. But yeah, I just thought that I would come on here and talk about that for a second with you guys because, yeah, it's just important to me. And I was reading Starfighter and I thought about it. I know I talk a lot about gay porn on Tumblr, so I figured I would elaborate a little bit. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this educational video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.